Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you today?
Doing well, still sleepy. Good morning, everyone.
See, I think that's right. You got to start your day with snowmobiling. There's no sleepiness. You just just get up and get going.
Starting the day snowmobiling is definitely it could be a very expensive uh, activity.
How about jet skiing? Could you do that?
I could say jet ski, yes.
Yeah. Well, I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 recommend.
You didn't even notice that I said the word fast.
I I I wasn't going to say anything. I think you did a great job.
Oh, I thank you. There's nothing better than meals on snow.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I prefer not to see them. I
Oh, I
I
thank
I
you.
I had
Wait,
my flashlight this morning and I
there's nothing
looked
better
all around
than
in the
meals
woods and
on
I'm like, all
snow.
right, if I see any eyes looking back at me, then I'll know. But I think I'm good. I think I'm safe for a few more weeks. It's in the
Oh, I thank
spring
you.
when they're hungry because
Wait,
if it's been a harsh
there's
winter,
nothing better
then
than
they'll
meals on snow.
they'll search for other kind of foods, not typically on their diet.
What are we referring to here? Bears, moose,
Cougars. Cougars.
cougar.
I don't
Oh,
I
you
don't
can
care
find
about
those at the
bears or
bar.
moose typically on their diet. Yeah, the those kinds
What are
don't
we
attack
referring
me,
to
but the
here?
ones yeah.
Bears, moose.
They got this
Cougar. I'm not safe. Oh, you can find those at the
I
bar.
don't know. No. They I see that they bought us bear
What are we
mace. So
referring
now I'm
to
like, all
here?
right, well, I don't
Bears,
think cougars are afraid of bear
moose.
mace. So
Cougar.
so if
I
I
might
just don't show up someday to the space, send help.
send help up to the mountain. It's like, where in the mountain? I don't know. Just go up there.
Just up there, up in them there hills. Just start, just play the banjo music. Somebody will know. They'll be like, "Oh, yep, I seen her about 3 days ago, heading up there on the mules."
It's missing like three body parts.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God, I wish I was joking, but yeah. I'm like,
Oh,
how much
oh.
does a donkey weigh? Because they killed a donkey in the same field that I snowmobile in like 2 years ago. I'm like, a donkey's way heavier than me. But they're probably afraid of like the machine, maybe. I don't know.
Man, your work is all full of action and danger and excitement. I'm over here like having a cubicle and staring at spreadsheets all day.
Hey, no joke. Those spreadsheets aren't going to correlate themselves, and back injury in the workplace is no laughing matter, sir. Except when I'm laughing. Oh, no, no, I wasn't laughing. That would be horrible.
The weenus is highly important.
The weenus?
I think, isn't that what they called it on Friends, Chandler? The report?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I was thinking about like the bone in your elbow. I thought that's called a weenus.
I'll have to Google it. But it was something that sounded similar to that as well. Whatever it was, the report. Sorry.
I think like a TPS report, that just from Office Space, that has me traumatized. Make sure your TPS report is turned into your five bosses. Okay, friends. So I forgot to put the screen on the land because I wanted a nice picture, so I deployed, redeployed without the screen so I could get a pretty picture. And then I was just lazy. I was like, I'll put the screen in later this week. And I didn't. And so I am updating the scene right now. So if you're here on the parcel, you can just chill. But if you're loading in, then I think you'll find an empty scene for like, I don't know how long it'll take. It's 9:08 right now, so we'll see how long it takes. Usually it's like 20 minutes, or this is a heavy scene, so maybe it'll be more. So that's on me. Sorry, guys.
I was correct. It's called WENUS, WENUS, which stood for Weekly Estimated Net Usage Statistics.
That's definitely what I thought of when you said weenus.
And I guess he also had to deal with the ANUS, the Annual Net Usage Statistics.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway,
Watch out for those.
I'm surprised you guys you never started something like this. But here to get your morning started. Go ahead, read it.
Hello, coffee and donut lovers. Welcome to Been There, Dunk That, where we dive into the latest trends in the Java and donut world. Today, we're sipping on Ethiopian Yirgacheffe, the jazz musician of coffee, with its bright citrus and floral notes. You can find this gem at specialty shops or online, and it's worth every penny. To pair it, the cronut is making a delicious comeback. Fun fact, coffee beans are actually seeds from a fruit, and donuts were originally called oily cakes. Until next time, keep brewing and dunking.
And that was your
Wow.
morning coffee and donut minute.
I like it. I want more oily cakes. I think I can see why they don't call them oily cakes, because then I would think they're unhealthy. If I call them donuts, then I can just pretend that doesn't exist.
Did you hear what he called it? I think brew this, dunk that.
I like it.
I was today the years old when I found out that coffee beans are a seed and not necessarily a bean.
I think our good friend Roots, doesn't Roots have some interpretive or like educational components to their build in Decentraland, like where you go through and it tells you about the process, I think?
I thought he was a chocolate
Yeah,
man.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
the
you're talking
chocolate.
about coffee, not bean. Yeah. Okay. I need more coffee. Apparently, mine's not kicking in yet. I think I thought of Roots because I was at this really fancy, like, organic Whole Foods store, like, not a Whole Foods, just like a tiny one. And it had a huge chocolate section, like really expensive chocolate. So I was like, I'm just going to see if I see the Roots chocolate bar. And I looked and I found the brand. It's not exactly the bar that his chocolate goes into, but I did find the brand, and so that was really cool. And I sent it to him right away. He was surprised. He's like, "Wow!" So shameless plug to go buy. Let's see, what is it called? Manoa chocolate, and make sure you get. Hold on. Make sure you get the Kahalu'u 70% dark chocolate, because that is the bar that Roots's beans go into. So there you go.
You know what? You just remind me I have a full-time job now and I can afford fancy chocolate.
Well, as part of a referral code, no, you should definitely get Roots chocolate. I got like 4 bars, and it came in a really nice box. Um,
Mhm.
there's 2 flavors actually that his beans are in, and I didn't realize that, so I bought like 4 of just straight up dark chocolate. So I had so much dark chocolate running through my system. Now I want more. But yeah, you should definitely. It's worth a try. It's really cool that he can like
Mm.
contribute his beans to that brand.
I'm in his website right now, but I think I'm in the wrong place. Mm. And hello, everyone. The room has filled up a little more since the last time I looked down at the listeners. Good to see everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon. Uh, I'm still sleepy. Uh, yeah. Last night I stayed up a little too late with Make for his birthday bash on Decentraland. So yeah, that was actually very very fun. A lot of people came through. His Twitch stream was like hitting like 20, 25 people, I believe, at one point. And I mean, we had the place packed on the Central End, so he had a good time. And right now, I think he's sleeping in.
Nice. I had to do some shuttling, so I came early, but then nobody's there, so I went AFK for a little bit, and then I came back, and most people were gone, but I saw the pictures, so I was there, but I kind of I missed the
You were in the
party.
pictures.
Yeah, I was there. I was there in spirit, but hopefully it was a good one. Nice to see so many people dropping in. Really cool to see so many beasts coming in. So, yay. Another year around the sun for Make.
Yep, for sure. And yeah, yesterday was kind of cool. He did give away some cool, had some cool giveaways. Uh, man, I wish the Central End worked sometime. Sorry. But yesterday Risk became a Bit Beast. He won the giveaway for the Bit Beast, so yay for him. And and Metal Wolf won a Nakamigos cloak. I don't know what that is. I've seen the Nakamigos around, and I have my opinions, but now the cloaks. What kind of cloak is it? What materials are made out of? We'll have to get Metal Wolf in here to let us know.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen that project, but I don't know. No, don't know too much about them. Can only ape into so many.
Uh, I'll stick to my Hyperfy lands and my Decentralands. Oh look, I popped into the scene. Now there is no build, but I do see a screen. So we're making progress, Canessa.
Yeah, I think it's just, let's see. So we will do a quantitative test. So we deployed at 9:08. It's 9:16. So I'll refresh at 9:18 and see if it's there.
Whoa there, quantitative test. I'm not very good at quantum physics.
Yeah, it's just fun to use big words. My favorite big word to use is hierarchical. Like if you look at the hierarchical evidence, oh my gosh, that word just I had to practice that one quite a bit before I used to have to say it on a cognitive test that I had to administer. And so I had to learn how to say it before I could be like having the students repeat it after me. So
I'm, I'm surprised that you had students that could repeat it. I don't think I could accomplish this.
oh yeah, definitely. I I I I tested a student once who then his score literally put him at the qualifying IQ for genius, like 130. And I'm like, yep, that checks out. You are way smarter than me. So, but I don't like I don't like IQ. It's yeah, very small snapshot of a person. So I also like yeah, like what's the expression? Like poo poo, I guess a little bit. So anyway, we don't have to digress on that. Let's see what is new this week in Decentraland. I had so much fun going to Ruston's. I'm gonna call it a Wreck It Rolf house, but it's like the Wreck It house. I made a video, but then I'm like, oh, I didn't post it because Rustan posted or made such a good video. But yeah, if you're having a bad week with all of your, meme trading, just go to -2. Let me look this up. -2, -77, I think, and it's
I think it's -78.
78. Okay.
But I think it might be bigger than one parcel, so we're both
Yeah.
good. But it's pretty sweet though.
It is. You just go and you destroy it. And like I destroyed it, and then I was like, oh, I saw the fish on the wall, and I was just like, this fish is gonna die. Like I just took it out and I tried to push the trees over. I couldn't push the trees over, but it felt really good. It was like way cheaper than therapy, so I highly suggest that.
I got extremely lucky on a shit token.
How lucky is extremely lucky, and what shit
Well,
token?
extremely lucky enough to get my money back, and when I thought all hope was lost, and used whoever was pumping it as exit liquidity. The time token, it came out earlier this week, and like they were like, "Oh, it's a scam," but I had already yeeted like 200 tendies into it, and I watched it go down from like from $200 to like I don't know, like 17. And then last night it started pumping again and it made it to $200. I was like, okay, I'm out. That's investing, guys. Yeah. Be like me, successful trader, gets their money back. Buy my program.
Yeah, I just screenshotted a great meme of the forced smile guy, and it says, "When you bought into a project for a quick flip, but ended up a community member." So, you know, beware. A lot of people accidentally become community members in trying to flip meme coins.
No, that's not. No, that's never happened to anyone. Sunk cost
uh,
isn't
done, done,
real.
done fucked up and caught feelings. That's what happened.
No. We're
That's
doing
like
it for the
every NFT
community,
I've ever had.
for the culture, guys. It's all about the culture. Who cares the price if it's got a great culture behind it?
Have I
Yes.
told you about our Lord and Savior Hyperfi yet? You should get in on that, guys. It's never too late to become a community member.
Oh, I definitely became a community member there.
Uh,
I'm the only person. I feel like sometimes I'm the only person that can turn getting free magic internet money into a loss. I don't know how I pull that off, but I'm almost impressed with myself.
Have
I
I?
think we all have that potential here. I don't know. I feel like back in 2017, I took a wonderful online course called Robinhood Penny Stocks, and that course was very expensive, but it taught me a lot, and it taught me that I am not an investor, nor a trader, nor should I probably have a smartphone with any apps other than like how to find the way to my car. So, not financial advice, but these meme coins feel like penny stocks all over again.
Yeah, I would say that, but with a lot less morals and stability and yeah, I mean, a penny stock could like trade for years, like between a range of $1 and I don't know, 5 cents. But a shitcoin will trade to 1 cent and then just 5 minutes later take all your money. What do we call this?
Not financial advice.
Yeah, definitely not financial advice. I still can't find uh, a link to get some Roots chocolate. Vanessa, you get all
Oh,
the chocolate. Send me the link.
all right. Let me look it up 1 second. You guys talk about important things,
Important
and I will look this up.
important things. I mean, the only important things I'm seeing right now is is Ruth's two labs. He's got two adorable labs. I see a picture. I wonder what their names are. Oh, dang, I just realized we lost one existence. Oh no. One exists. Thank you for coming up and speaking. And thank you for those of you that are still here listening in today. If anyone wants to come up and chat about anything that they're doing on Decentraland or will be doing this week, you're more than welcome to. If not, you will hear our random chatter, me trying to secure the chocolate. Uh, oh, what was that? What did I just? It's a fruit. Sorry, I'm over here getting excited and talking to myself.
Okay, I posted the link here, and I'm putting it up above.
Yeah.
But there's only 2 bars that he made, so I mean, you could get a bunch of other ones, but to get his beans, there's 2.
Yeah.
And all I know is the kahulu.
I want the roots bean, not no other
Yeah,
bean.
I don't remember the other kind that is his. But I love, yeah, I wish we had a directory. It would be really, I mean, I guess we don't have a lot of like digital products in Decentraland, but back when Wisher Vodka was here, it would be really cool to promote, to try to um, add value to brands that want to actually be in Decentraland with their IRL stuff. So don't know. Let's see. There was the coffee brand, but they went out of business and they never came to Decentraland. But what else do we have?
Okay, so in my recently viewed, this must have been from months ago. I had there is the Kona. Does Kona sound familiar? It's 70% chocolate, dark chocolate.
It might be one. I don't think I would know the name of the second bar from him. I think you'd have to talk to him directly.
Oh man, inflation hit hit roots hit roots beans or cocoa beans.
Those bars are not, I mean, you get what you pay for. I think they are really good quality. They're not Hershey's bars. They're like $12 a piece. So
Yeah, I'm saying inflation because I thought last time I was on the website they may have been 10.
no, I think they were 12 when I got them.
Which ones? Which ones? Don't make me buy one of each, one of all roots. It's like I got your
So
chocolate. I
let's
got all of them. I didn't know.
I know the passion fruit is not his. And then there's like a green one and that is not his too.
Okay, so the Ko Olopoko is not his. I think I pronounced that right. I can barely read a normal words as it is, so. Osai. Oh, I may have to look back into my Beyond the NFT episode, but then pinpoint which ones are his.
Yes, you should.
Oh man, today has been a little slow here, Canessa. No one's coming up to speak. We might have to finish early.
That's fine. It's okay. It's okay if we don't. I do want to talk about the council positions, which are ending. In just a few days. We had Toxic, who graciously put together, and the interviews, which I think was really awesome to have somebody else facilitate that. Um, yeah, and let's see. I'm just jumping in here. Oh, we got last stream coming up. Trying to figure out how many days are left. I want to say it's like 5 days. All right, my computer's being slow. So, welcome up, Lastrom. How are you today?
Hey guys, I'm good. I just quickly before the council talk wanted to maybe just mention that there was a builder contest from the foundation, and I know Ruston entered, and we sort of highlighted his house. I'm not in the competition, but maybe if we highlight those builds, I'm not sure where that list is, but I think there were like 20 entrants. Ruston said could be interesting for some social media for Decentraland for good scene content and social media post. I personally don't know the scenes. I've been working on some other things. I just wanted to mention that there is a builder contest, and the the submission was yesterday, the end, and I think the winners will be announced on the 11th. So
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. That's a good reminder. And some awesome builds in there. There was one that I've never seen before, so it was really cool. Right. I think I hadn't seen the builder before, so it's nice to see some new faces coming in and entering that. Yeah, and Dana, I see is here. So maybe I don't know, like if we do even have a list, because I know Decentraland's going to do their official list, but that would be a good idea to have that. And I did see ABC Decentraland are coming back. I'm not sure when they will be back in business, but that might be even cool for them to tour some of those builds. So I'm sure Billy loves it when we're like, Billy, here, go to these spots. But I'm always like telling him of cool things coming.
Uh,
Good morning.
Hi. I can say like to enter the contest, the one of the things that we wanted to do was have people start sharing in the Discord in the share your work channel to kind of like resuscitate, do some CPR there. So you should be able to go and see the different builds in that channel in the foundation chat. And also, Sin, I like so many times wanted to troll you. You were trying to pronounce stuff because you can't pronounce snowmobile, but here you are pronouncing all this exotic chocolate. Like, what? Something is not adding up here. So, anyway, that's if you have any other questions on the builder thing, you can go. There's I think there's a pinned. I did a poke in the main announcements channel, so you can go to the details there, and it should lead you to the blog, and then you can like read all the stuff. But fun times. We're doing a drop on the 4th. Vanessa, I saw you already retweeted us. We got some, what are they called again, Vanessa? Dilly boppers, I think you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard this word before.
Oh my
But
gosh, I
maybe
feel so
other people
validated.
know. Okay, anyway, I've said my piece. Bye, gang.
Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about the little antennas, or like the technical term, the only term I've ever called them is dilly boppers back in like, you know, the back in the 1900s. That's what I called them. And so it was funny to see them because I like commented that they were dilly boppers, and then Dana was like, "Yeah, that's what Bay called them," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I thought my parents made that up. Like that's such a word that my dad would have just made up, and then like it just becomes a vocabulary word." So they are really cool. They're bringing back definitely some nostalgia vibes. And so 3 more days before those we can get, and they look really cool. And Meshroom made those, so shout out to Meshroom. But yeah, thank you, Lastrom. That's a really good idea to try to
yeah, I want to
amplify.
challenge people. I would say, put people on the spot. Let's hold people accountable. Haven't seen many people building in public or asking for help. Ruston built his entire trash house scene, not coding at all. It has triggers and actions, consequences, rewards, physics. I know I've seen on the server, Jared, I believe, you got the submarine, right? I think so. But that house was built and Ruston was in there, constantly asking how to do things and improving things. And, I don't even need to see the other 20 or 19 builds. I'm going to vote for Ruston because he built an amazing addicting, fun scene, no coding, and he spent the time to get in there and build, and just haven't seen that. I haven't seen the foundation reach out and promote anything of building or anything. Like, get in there and build. I mean, it takes like an hour to make a scene that could have been in the competition. You could have won $500. So just want people to stay focused on, like, take an hour a week and learn. Just build and hold people accountable. And I'll be the bad guy to hold people accountable. I don't care. I'll call you out. Haven't seen people log in 2 weeks. An in-world builder.
There was some kind of glitch for me to get that submarine, the shoes. I don't know what happened. Like when I spoke to the lady at the front, it was just like, "Yeah, I hit the thing," and then like 10 seconds later or less, it was like, "You got the shoes incoming," and I was like, "No, what did I do?"
It's the submarine bounces up there on the rafters, and you got lucky. It bounced without you having to hit it, and it fell down.
So I feel like I did not have any motive except to destroy that shit, and especially like the fish. I was like, I'm gonna take this fish out. I'm gonna destroy everything. So I feel kind of uh, like I didn't know there was a prize or like that I should try for the submarine. I was just there to destroy shit. So
No,
I
that's what's
feel
fun. It's a sneaky little hidden Easter egg. You could knock over. Ruslan could talk more about it. I'm just excited because somebody that has no coding experience and doesn't like to code, but can easily like add physics to things and make it very interactive. That adding an audio sound, adding music in the background when two things collide, playing a sound when you win, firing off a reward from the Decentraland reward server. All that stuff is like at your fingertips to build, and continues to get better with like this type of experience. So I just want to hold people accountable for getting in there and build. If you say you're going to build, get in there and build, because we're here to make it a better experience.
awesome. And I see your Stan. Welcome up. Hope you're having a good
So,
Saturday.
do you guys hear that music? I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if it's my.
That's the music from the emote, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's definitely your Meta Tiger emote
Let
music.
me silence. Damn. I hate emotes with sound. I gotta be honest. I hate that.
Oh, I should make one just with like really annoying sound and make it a mythic or make it common and just spam you all 100,000 of them.
Oh, jeez.
I understand,
Um.
surely.
Yeah, man. Echoing what Lastrom said. Like I've spent, I don't know, 2 weeks building that, and initially it was just a simple idea, and it just kept getting grander and grander, and I was like, oh, I should add sound effects too. Oh, and I should add this and that, and I just like randomly, all those assets in there are also the IWB assets that are paid for by the DAO, and open source and can be downloaded and used. And so I was really just kind of demonstrating the potential of the IWB, and then I was like, oh, what if I put a submarine at the top, and if you can hit it, then if it hits the ground, then you win a prize. And like I was able to pull that off. It was a little complicated for my dumb brain, but Lastrom helped me through it, and it makes sense when you get it. But you have to kind of do it at least once to really start to understand it. And we were doing all this in browser, and we couldn't get it loading. We had some issues getting it to load in client 2.0, and then we made some changes, and we went to go test it in 2.0, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if it loaded? And then all of a sudden it loaded, and the physics worked better in 2.0 than it did on browser, and it was like flawless. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to deploy this again because I don't want to break anything. It's already working better than it's ever worked, and I'm so excited to share it. I have intentions to add more to it in the future. I think with this contest, you're not allowed to make any changes, so I'm leaving it as is. But I want to put like a leaderboard for timing. I want to add a couple more things in there, but really the whole point is the way Canessa used it. It was just intended to be something to trash, and then I added a little gamification to it, and it's cool because even the rewards thing is cool. Like Jared got to see it. Like you don't have to click a claim button. You don't have to you know go off the site at all. You just play the game.
It's also the first reward I've gotten that I didn't need to go into the browser to actually get.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like it's so cool, and that was all IWB, and the reward part literally took like 2 minutes to set up with Lastrum, using the his DCL server, but like otherwise the server that you would have to do for rewards, you have to set up on your own, which is totally doable. But luckily he allowed me to use his server, which gives the prize of the last slice pizza slice shoes. Um, but ultimately, it was just about
Yeah, just
ease of use.
KJ Walker's worst wearable ever.
No, no.
No big deal. No one's ever
But
taken that poor
Jared, you
stance
could
before.
Jared. It sounds like you're salty. You could go do a decent chance for 20 mana and win the whole outfit.
it's true though.
Rustan does insist that if I had the whole outfit, I would hate it less, which is
No,
probably true.
I didn't say you would hate it. I said you would love it.
You, okay, no, yes, yeah. You said you said love it. I said hate it less.
Oh, hate
They're
it less. Yeah,
similar.
yeah.
That's just a man. That's just a
Jared,
Yeah,
maybe I'll
that's
slow
how
burn you, and every quarter I'll give you one part of the wearable. How about that? And then maybe at the end of the year you'll have the full outfit.
Could you make him like a unique one of one with like extra toppings, like maybe extra salt and
sardines,
some
sardines.
onions for all the tears he's crying?
But you know what else I wanted to say about Trash the House was that I built it to fit where the cove is on a 3x3, but I was like, let's go all out and put it in Angzar in the rentable estate. So I rented that estate for free for 2 weeks, deployed it there from InWorld Builder, and within minutes it showed up on the scene, and like that's just so cool to me because like if I didn't own land or know how to code or have Blender skills or assets, know how to download assets, I wouldn't be able to build it. But I did all of that without requiring any of those things and deployed to Genesis City.
Also, the
Um,
new
it's cool. You cut out. I didn't hear what you
there's
said,
the no
Jared.
code UI, the new DCL DAO.
You keep getting cut out.
Yep, I think he's cutting off. Last thing I heard was new DCL DAO.
But you can go get yourself some nice, sweet in-world UI
I think
and coding skills to implement.
he's talking about Zanko's no-code UI editor that you can then copy and paste the code into your code. So it's a really nice tool set for sure. But you still have to like copy and paste the code in. So it'd be fun to figure out how we can do that with InWorld Builder as well.
The other thing I'm now messing around with is the storefronts at the Angzar, and I put mine up, and it's pretty simple. I put up some classic photos. There's mannequins to dress your mannequins. Currently, we're resolving a glitch on one of my mannequins, but it seems like they work on most storefronts. But I encourage anybody to create their own little storefront, like Kanessa. I know you've always wanted to like curate a storefront. Like this is like such a cool opportunity to build a storefront and select your favorite wearables and dress up some mannequins to wear them, and then like you can click the mannequins to go buy the wearables and stuff. And I would just love to see like 20 storefronts by various community members, showcasing either their own wearables or curating other wearables. I think it would just be the coolest thing. Yesterday, Toxic Waifu and Clubber's Will and Jared and I were running around, and I was showing them these things, and like I don't know, the way that I see it panning out, it's just so cool, and I really hope it gets there.
It is a really cool foundation. Now, for sure, they need to fix in Client 2.0 so all those NPCs don't just glide around. But that's obviously not your fault that they went and broke the cool thing you made.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
definitely the future is gonna be dope.
For now, it's best to set these things. I mean, I think you can set it up you can set up the stores in 2.0, but you can also do the AI agents and stuff. But a lot of those things have to be done in browser for now because 2.0 is just not ready yet. But Lastrom has spoken to Nico and has relayed some serious fixes that need to be done, and Nico is on it. I hope he does it sooner than later because like the potential is really cool.
Yeah, we have on that front. Nico and I had a good chat, and I had a wish list of four things. One of them was immediately fixing the gliding NPCs in 2.0. So that's on their radar to be fixed. The second thing was a UI dropdown glitch in World Builder. That's a high priority for us in terms of workflow. The next thing were in-world transactions so that you can do like all the marketplace purchasing from the client and you can pop up MetaMask or your wallet and click confirm. You can't do that on the client. So it really breaks that like Web3 experience. And then the fourth thing was the portable experiences, which he said is pushed out till at least Q3. So kind of disheartening in the sense of like what we talked about with the questing and stuff and having like a global like bucket of code to use across Decentraland, but they are going to work on some more immediate things, which would lead to two updates that I want to have in Angzar and want to pitch to you guys. So we can talk about that. And Rustan and I have been talking about it. We're doing this all for fun as well. I also mentioned uh, the lease. If you guys remember a week or two ago, I said that we're skating by without the lease, and Nico said if the foundation revokes our access, he would help us out with that. So we're good with that plaza being ours to develop and do fun stuff with. We just have to keep doing it, and I hope people keep using it as Ruston is because we're building it for us. And so I would implore people to get in there and see what works and doesn't, and we can improve it. And Odd Job's actually improving the decent chance spinner. So if you have an idea or something, again, this isn't like my code. This is our code. So let's make it the best.
Yeah, I'm still working on. Got sidetracked by this trash the house thing, but I still want to make more basic homes that people can use without having to build or code or anything. I've made three now, and I've tested them all, and they work. And I encourage other community members to build a single parcel home in IWB that could be added to this pool of homes that anybody can use at any time. Um, what we did discover this past week, so I think like 4,000 of the assets are IWB assets and 2,000 are Decentraland or something or vice versa. I can't remember the exact numbers, but we found out that like some of the Decentraland default assets don't always work because of their UV texture map not loading properly, and so that's another bug we're trying to resolve. So Lastrom has made a Web 2 page listing off all the assets that you could view and download and use as you please, but it also indicates which ones are IWB and which ones are Decentraland. And so I encourage only if you plan to deploy to Genesis City, I encourage you use the IWB assets instead of Decentraland assets. But if you're building in a world and just want to keep it there, you can use anything.
Yeah, I was going to say my two updates is just lastly, and then if we want to move on to other things or people have questions, is I want to put a stadium in Angzar and we're going to do like a big soccer game with a big ball and maybe two teams. And, you have to score points. And then also a bowling lane with physics. And we're going to be building out a little mini arcade.
I think that is awesome, and I think we need like two sports teams in Decentraland where people can choose are they rooting for the I don't know what would we have ours what's like a animal that would be a good mascot for Decentraland? Like are we rooting for the hamsters or the mews or something like that, and make some kind of cool competition like that, like when we do stuff like that, get together. I don't know. I'm like,
Muse is definitely a good idea. Maybe just like bulls and bears. I don't know. I'm from Chicago too, so that
Oh
works.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm yeah, I don't know. Maybe people could come up with like their own team, and then the best one is the one that that wins, or like I said, like East Side versus West Side. Not to like bring it back to, West Coast is the best coast, but like just split the map down the middle. And if you call home on the left side of the map, maybe you're on this team, and if your home is on the right side of the map, maybe it's the other team. And Angsar would be perfect because it's right in the middle, so it's like neutral territory.
Also, speaking of bowling, I did put bowling ball and pins in Trash the House, and that was inspired by Jared mentioning bowling pins. I think he just like off the cuff said you should put some bowling pins there, and I was like, that's a good idea, actually. So one of the things I want to add to that is when you hit the bowling pins, it makes that sound of bowling pins being hit. So that's coming too. But thank you, Jared, for the idea.
Can you do like some ASMR, like a squishy sound when you hit the fish, like something really
Totally. You
squishy?
could do it. You could do anything. I mean, I had at the last second, I added a squeaky toy sound to the porcupine and the doll on the sink. But yeah, totally, I could add a squishy sound to the fish.
Also,
And
I posted a video up here of me. I didn't post it because I didn't like, you made such a good video. I didn't want to like copy
oh, I
yours,
totally want to see
but
it.
I did make one where I just, it was a rough week, and so this was really helpful. It was really nice. So thank you for that.
Good.
We do have in Angzar the two factions as part of our lore, the cyberpunks and dune punks. And I'm not sure if anybody's on board with having those two be teams, but again, like when we say we should do this, like it should be let's do this. And that's what I want more of us to do, because the foundation relying on them, they're going to catch up. They noticed what we're doing, and so they're actually going to change some things regarding asset bundle processes and things and make fixes. So if we keep leading, like instead of like pushing on them, we're pulling them with us. They're going to have to catch up. So let's turn the we should into like let's do. And I'm here to let's do it. Let's make two teams. Let's make it a way for people to sign up, and let's have like the two teams always playing against each other.
It's funny as we build and explore stuff. Lastrom and I, like, new ideas keep popping. They just keep popping in my head, and I get very inspired by things. And like Trash the House was actually like uh, I had a different idea in mind that I still plan to build, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I want to do a trash. It just hit me, so I pivoted to that. But I'm going to go back to the original thing. But it's cool how these things can just come to fruition naturally when you actually just go and explore.
Yeah, I think a lot. I'm sorry, I'm trying to type answer. If anybody's on the land, the build, I did not have I forgot to put the screen in, so I like deployed at 9:08. It's 9:51. There's still not a build. That's neither here nor there, but I wish it didn't take so long to deploy. That's pretty frustrating, but a build will show up soon, hopefully. Um, yeah, like we've got builders, but man, what we need too, like you said last time, we need like people to execute, people that like event planners. I mean, that's the piece right there that puts that, I don't know, puts the finishing touch, just put a date on the calendar, get the event listing. Like that right there is, I think, we we need that. It's a lot of work to put on events, and either we need that or we just need people to do it. I personally will have more time coming up in the near future, so yeah, definitely can contribute more, yeah, hopefully really soon.
Yeah, you're totally right, Vanessa. I think planning the event is very necessary. Like I actually pointed that out to Lastrom yesterday, that like I had deployed the land, the trash the house, and then I was like, we need to make an event to like actually get people to join it, or you have to guerrilla market it, right? I think you're right. It's very, very important.
Yep, and that is a suggestion that Kinessa and I even made to Carl the other night because like we were just brainstorming on ways to like let people know that stuff is happening. And yeah, at this point the event is probably the best way to do it, mainly because we get that like bubble that pops up on the over the map, and of course that's like our current situation, but it'll get better.
Wait, I
Speaking of,
want to interject on the events thing, if I can, for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so this is like, because I I was like intimidated. This is like how the book club came to be, because I was like, I want to have more events in Decentraland. I don't know if anybody is interested in the same stuff as me. I like books. Let's just like put an event out there, see what the hell happens. And like now we have a book club and we're going on our second event. The first one was like a huge success. People are actually reading the books. I don't know. So I just feel like if you are like me and you kind of felt like you were floating around the ether into Decentraland and you didn't really have like an interest place to land, like think about whatever the thing is that you're interested in, put it up on the events page, see what happens. If it doesn't work out, whatever, try again with a different idea, and like eventually you'll find your people. So I don't know, it can be like a vulnerable, scary thing, but like, yeah, I don't know, you never know what happens. So anyway, just wanted to encourage everybody, like, yeah, you could totally do it. Just find the thing. I don't know, like, there's so many things that people are interested in. I know people were talking about cooking the other day. Like, it'd be fun to have a cooking event. Who knows? So anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Dana. You're inspiring me because there's another event I want to do, and I totally feel you. Like it is scary, or like I feel intimidated. Like like I don't know. It's just, and also just time constraints. So I will push past that. Last time I think you had your hand up first.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I think it kind of goes the event thing is great, but like we got to have something to have an event. So I want us to go from we should do something to like let's build it. And obviously we'll need the event, but we need the idea first. And so what I want to focus on is Angzar. And it's again open to anybody to build. Our job is building the spinner. I want to add an arcade, which is going to have the bowling lanes and the stadium. The arcade's going to be a part of the stadium. And in the stadium, if somebody wants to build it, great. I'm just using AI and Sketchfab. Um, and we'll do a soccer game.
yeah, I mean, I see a pretty awesome Angzar event in the future, and it could be as simple as like individually, someone could just make a storefront, someone could make the game, someone could rent out the Coliseum for a dance party, and that could all happen on the same day. One giant Angzar event. I think that would be pretty impressive and awesome with the AI agents there and the Decentra chance and all the different cool things that Lastrum's built. But also with that said, I think this is a good time for me to announce that I want to have I'm having a party at Casa Rustan. I haven't picked a specific date yet. It'll be early February. I'm making a legendary wearable, first come first serve, given for free to people that show up. It's celebrating my 20th year as a body painter, and yeah, just want to celebrate that and invite everybody to that. So stay tuned for the details.
Woohoo! That's
Oh, and
awesome.
I have signal like this. I have DJ New Girl lined up for that.
You know how to get me to a party. Now, hopefully, it's not there while my work hours are happening. Have you thought about a time yet?
It's, um, it'll probably be like 6 p.m. your time, most likely.
Oh, okay. I'd just be getting home if it's on a weekday. Sweet. Nice, nice. Um, hmm. I mean, as we're talking about events and stuff like that, I'm even potentially. I mean, it could be potential to one of these days, even like for just us to host a an event at Angzar. Um, I mean, Angzar would definitely be a good opportunity or even like a good venue to have like when pertaining to like just entertainment and having different things to do. There could be like an event area, then you could walk over to the shopping plaza, to the stadium, to the city, whatever is deployed there, or you could go throw shit at Rustan's house. That Angzar does kind of sound like a has potential to be a very good event area.
It's funny because like those parcels that you can rent now, like anybody can do that right now. Like you could have a build that you've already created and deploy your creation to those parcels, and unfortunately, but thankfully, you're limited to only one for whatever the reservation period is. Otherwise, I'd have claimed them all by now and made them all mine. But it would be nice to see some others.
Yeah, so if anybody has any ideas on how to make the soccer game better or what you think, I'm going to plow ahead with like two teams of six, a huge ball, and maybe the ball respawns multiple times. So maybe there's a few balls, like a maximum of three at once. And maybe there's a time limit of 5 minutes. And the team with the most goals wins. You can have people in the stands that can't walk out on the field. And maybe there's some upgrades and things. So just here for any ideas.
Ooh, what about Rocket League in Angzar? Drive a car around pushing a soccer ball. Or
Oh my god!
why drive a car? Let's like ride some kind of magical freaking unicorn.
I'm just imagining Rocket League, the game, and then imagining like Lastrum trying to like code the physics to it all and the nuances and little things. Uh, oh no! I
Well,
mean,
it's crazy.
doable.
You control the physics. So at Trash the House, um, most of the items have the same physics, but like the porcupine and the basketball, those have different physics from the objects in the room, and the gravestones are heavier than like the couch and everything. So you can actually customize the weight and shape and mass of the objects in your scene. It's really cool. And Lastrum's made cars. You can I forget which world you have that in Lastrum, but you had several cars and a hot air balloon and
We can add
And we have
cars. We can add cars. I mean, in the new client, I still think the like freezing the player and moving the camera is still finicky from the foundation perspective. It doesn't work 100% of the time, so you have to like do it a few times to get the camera. But essentially, we could have all the players like on the bench, and then they're frozen there, but you turn into a car in the playing field, and then there's a big ball. We could totally do that.
okay. We have a question in chat. Harmony's saying that last time they were in Angzar, it was a lot of clones, and so it's been a while since they visited. They're asking, is there actual game in Angzar? So could you guys there's a lot of improvements. Like Angzar, I think, is totally different than what we would have seen, a year or two, well, 2 years ago. Can you just give a brief summary of like what are the biggest changes in Angzar? I guess like if somebody were to go there now,
Sure.
what can they?
Well, the outpost that originally existed in the plaza is now on a world, a DCL name. Angzar Outpost is the DCL name. So now the current plaza is restructured and redeveloped. And if you go to the Coliseum and talk to the NPC out front, he has dialogue that explains all of the new things of the current redevelopment, but also a link directly to the old Angzar Outpost, which has that main hub and questing and resource harvesting and killing enemies.
Yeah,
Nice. And
I was in there for the when I dropped the Mad Max mask. It was literally like the only place I could think of to film a Mad Max style uh, commercial. You know.
that is so cool though. My brain is just like going I gotta my brain can come up with a lot of ideas. And unfortunately there's always, I think all of us like we're creative, so we come up with so many ideas and just can't get more than 24 hours in a day. So I am sure you had a blast getting those pictures, your son.
Oh, totally. I always have fun. That's why I'm still here.
I think one of the new updates too, if anybody's listening that hasn't, well, on my thread is the AI agents. It's kind of like, it's funny, CPCs, if anybody remember those cloned player characters in the old Angzar outpost. That was like the first iteration of like your AI agent, but we actually integrate with the Eliza OS platform. So we have our own agent server. And if you want to go to Angzar right now, you can create your own AI agent and give it a personality, some bio, knowledge, lore, topics, all of the ingredients to make a not a sentient character, but like a smarter AI personality. And then we're going to expand that to not just be in Decentraland. Maybe it's in Hyperfy, maybe it's on the web, maybe it's as a text message. It can become your own AI agent. Separate from just Decentraland. But for now, as Decentraland maxis, go into Angzar, go to the AI agent creator machine, and create your own AI agent.
Yeah, currently I made Hawk Tua AI agent. Tang Poco was in there, made her agent. Harmony made an agent. And then there's the Shroom King. I don't know who made that, but someone made a Shroom King agent. It's pretty cool to just sit there and talk to them too. Not to mention, I think we're like understating like AI agents right now are such a big topic globally, and we have Hyperfy, we have Nifty Island that dropped their AI agents, but legitimately, the easiest place to make an AI agent right now is at in Decentraland's Angzar, which is really cool. Thanks to Lastrom, what he did, he made it simpler for non-coding noobs like me. So it's worth the try for you guys. So one of the trickiest parts about using IWB right now is what Lastrom mentioned, this drop down glitch that kind of have to show you what that glitch is to really understand how to get around it. And hopefully Nico can fix that ASAP, because it's always been such a pain in the ass. But if you know how that works, you can get around it and make a lot of stuff. So if you guys want to explore those things and you have questions, hit Lastrom and I up. We can walk you through. Lastrom is obviously much better than I am at most of the things, but I can do a lot of the basic to intermediate things, help you guys figure those things out, and happy to do it.
Yeah, there's a couple glitches, but like what Ruslan said earlier about the physics, which is awesome, is you can set the gravity, and so you could have things float. So, and it's also triggerable. So maybe everything is like clamped, like Earth gravity, and then they unlock something like getting the submarine to the ground, and that triggers the gravity to change, and now everything floats. And you can do that without programming. Like you just got to get in there and do it. And so you can create some really crazy scenes like red light, green light with physics, like floating and not floating and things like that. So, uh, like I said, I would hot take, put people on the spot and challenge you to get in there for an hour and just learn and see how we can make it better or how you can understand building better in Decentraland. Because like Vanessa said, we're all trying to be creatives, but I would push people to try to take it one step further for an hour a week and get in there and learn and see what we can improve. Because if not, then the foundation wouldn't know about this UI bug. If not, then the foundation wouldn't know if one 3D file is trying to reference an external texture file that isn't included in your scene, your whole scene stops optimizing. So when your scene deploys and it's not showing up, it's failing because of one GLB is missing one image file. And they wouldn't have known that unless we were in there tinkering and playing. So not only is it helping the entire platform, like it's also helping yourself.
I have a question for, I guess, Lastrum. But you did one. I went to an event. It was like in the DAO. It was like an in-world builder tutorial day, or maybe it was a tester day. But like you had us running around. I was putting food. I was putting like giant food everywhere in the in-world builder. But that was so fun. I think it was like a maybe it was like 45 minutes or an hour that like you spent with us. I don't know if you, I don't know what your schedule looks like, but that would, I would love to do that again with you and like get my hands dirty with the in-world builder again. I don't know,
Yeah,
like
we can do that. I think if you're, from the foundation, this tool set has been funded twice now by the DAO and has been live for a year. So like, I'm kind of disheartened that the foundation isn't doing this more often, but like, it's available to anybody. And so I would implore the foundation, like even more technical people, to go in there and show you guys like what's possible. That's where that communication has frustrated me. We built this tool set and there's no symbiosis between the foundation and like a good grant project like this, where there could be weekly building events to onboard people from the foundation side that you guys create an event and work together for. The project has been out for 18 months and this is the first time we're hearing of like collaboration. So better late than never, but I would implore the foundation to get in there more and use it. And so long story short, I'm available to help, but like I would like the foundation to get in there and you could host your own build events. I mean, that's what we wanted to do, is like it doesn't always have to be on Lastrum's time or Rooston's time. I'm happy to help get people off the ground, but if they're not going to get in the ground first, like there's no point in getting off the ground. So foundation, get in there, get in the mix, learn how to do it. The foundation could have their own world and have their own build competitions. I'm happy to help get them set up. They just got to get in there and do it. And that's been the disheartening thing the last 18 months. Because I can see everybody's wallet. As a developer, you can track everybody. And I'll tell you, there's only one person that's visited, and it's been Nico, outside of you, Dana. But
I've been visiting too.
no, from the foundation.
just a little awkward. I was like, I think this gets sticky for me because there's like Dana who's a user, and then there's Dana who's like a person that works at the foundation. So I was like asking as Dana the user, but I am also very happy to like bring that feedback back to
Yeah,
my
I don't think it
builders.
should be sticky or awkward, honestly. I think it should be, you should have one hat and you could represent both. I don't think that should put you in an awkward position. It's awkward if they're not going to embrace the Dana social media manager jumping on a community call and relaying good ideas from the community. I don't think that should be put into an awkward position. I think that's the unfortunate thing, honestly, is that you can't come here as a representative or as a regular person in the community and off the cuff take good ideas back to the foundation and have them received without feeling awkward.
More, I think it's like I don't have like I'm not in leadership. So like,
Yeah.
but I'm like totally hear you last Jim, and I'm
Fine.
super
Yeah,
super happy to like bring back the feedback. But yeah,
sure. Yeah, well, leadership is in a position of listening, right? And if they can't listen to other people who aren't in leadership, they shouldn't be in leadership.
Thank you. Someone has said it. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, just to speak, like, speak my mind here, like it was the same situation that PB was in, when he was holding the community manager position. At one point, he was doing a very, 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 very good job. But there came a point where just the leadership was not listening anymore, and TV was just getting hurt more than anything. So, yeah, it's a tricky
Yeah, I'm
one.
not. I don't want to put you in an awkward position, Dana. I'm happy to help set up events. We can do that. We should do that more as a community. My point was like, I hope that the foundation should be listening to these calls and should be like listening to the community. And if not, that doesn't mean that you should feel awkward. They should feel awkward for not being open to this reception because as it's touted, this is a metaverse platform built and owned by the community. So why should any feedback not like everything should be listened to? It's unfortunate as a user, as a Foundation X member and original like 2019 member that the foundation that there is even a stigma of awkwardness that the foundation can't listen to what the community is talking about and wanting. That's pretty sad.
Would there be a time next week? I'm just thinking like Tuesday where like maybe I don't know, Dana, like just thinking about like new users building, like maybe I could jump in to just like a voice call or something and just like jump into Angzar. If you guys are like if Lastrom or Rustan are around to help, that's great. But even if not, like I don't know, maybe a group of like whoever is around could just stumble through it together. Like I think that a lot of times, like Dana had talked about, just new users building it's hard. It's kind of intimidating to get started, and maybe that would be helpful just to have like a time every like a predictable time every week where people just spend an hour limping through it. Like AJ used to do the FAFO sessions, and those were the best because it was just loose. There wasn't a specific topic, and you can just kind of like come in and get help. And I don't know, like something like that might just be helpful to get started. And yeah, and see if people show up for that. But I'd be happy to do that just because that's kind of like where I'm at with the in-world builder. Like I don't, yeah, just got to get started on it, get
Yeah,
going.
I again, we're happy to help. I think if you're new to it, I suggest like build a house, build a single parcel house that the community can use. I think that's step one, and then like I can demonstrate exactly how to do it. That's like the easiest thing that you can do in IWB, and that's like a great starting point. Like, don't come into it with this if you've got zero experience. Don't come into it with the intention of building trash the house right off the bat, because that's more advanced, but it can be done. I remember when we were putting IWB together, I opened with like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, that's like, to me it was like, I want this to be so easy that grandma can do it, and Lastrom kind of ran with it, and it is easy to where grandma could do it, um, especially when Nico fixes these drop down glitches, hopefully. Um, but then you can also go advanced and do some like almost anything you can imagine when you're ready, right? But definitely keep it simple in the beginning, and that'll get you rolling.
Yeah, I'm here to help. I'm here to help as always. Like I said, putting people on the spot. Let's take an hour a week. We talk about all this stuff on Saturdays, and we were good for 2 weeks. And Ruslan and I have been holding it up this past week, but would love to have more people in there, building and learning and trying things out. Because again, we don't know about the glitch if we're not using it. We don't know how to make the product better if we're not using it. And so, just want to keep promoting creativity in building. So let's hold our feet to the fire and do it. And so I'm going to continue building. I'll be available if anybody needs help with the in-world builder. Dana, we could totally do another build event. I'm happy to host that and run with that and show people. I love teaching people that stuff. It's so fun when it clicks for people. So I'm on board with that. I hope it didn't come off like I'm not. I just want the foundation to realize the community is doing amazing things, and they should really be paying attention to it because we come up with ideas like this and then they happen and then they're really fun. So that will be the arcade and bowling and hopefully the stadium soon with like the big soccer. I think that would be so much fun for people to play.
And actually, this past week or two, like building Trash the House, Lastrom and I were jabbing at it like for hours a day, many hours a day, and we uncovered several bugs. Lastrom squashed them, which means that in the future, things that you guys want to do, like you guys are going to be able to do things without all the problems that we ran into because of our testing and implementing and fixing, and it's getting easier and easier and starting to do the things that you expect it to do without issue, and it's really cool. But the only reason that happened is because like Lastrom and I are like digging hard trying to make these things work.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have more time soon, so I'm looking forward to having diving in further, putting that energy towards something like this. So if yeah, I don't know if Tuesday works for other people, that works for me.
Tuesday works for me.
Awesome. Good, and we're both on the same time zone, so that should be good too.
Yeah, I'm down, and I'm always available on Discord too. We're building something awesome, and if we have more ideas for the stadium and physics, you know, with this physics in IWB, adding it to, you know, a fun, bigger experience, not only to be used in Inworld Builder, would be awesome. I think there's another scene called like Hoops Corners or something that you can shoot the
Yeah,
basketballs up in Vegas, which is awesome using physics. So, want to start bringing that into Decentraland to create more fun experiences as we see elsewhere and other metaverses doing it. So that's why I want to do the bowling, because uh, I was testing it in World Builder with Bruce on. He was doing the trash the house, and I was doing bowling in World Builder. And it's awesome. And so I'm like, wait a second, why don't we just make this in Angzar? So, just all in all, the more we're involved in it, the more ideas come out, and the better the end result product of Decentraland hopefully will be.
Yeah, I love that. All right, I will. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I probably won't make it like an event listing. Probably just keep it loose and loose this week. But I'll let anybody that is interested and just is a total noob, just hit me up in DMs and I'll let you know. Like I don't know what time we
Well,
figure out. Otherwise, just keep it just small and go from there.
do I have a good one for you? And Zan, she's been DMing me this week, like just interested in Decentraland, wanting to learn more about the building as well as even like build on it. Uh, I mentioned to her that I could delegate a 1 by 1 parcel to her, and she was over the moon excited. So maybe once she realizes that she could do more at Angzar, she'll she'll be one of those individuals that will join you guys.
Yeah, and you could rent land for free at Angzar, and you can build outside of the in-world builder, and you could upload your scene to Angzar. Um, and so you don't need to use in-world builder with Angzar. So like if you don't have land, or we want to have like a community fashion week or a community whatever, we can, reserve those plots of land next to each other, and then people can deploy. So like keeping that in mind for the future, that it can be used for like a global event across a multi-day time period.
She wants to build tree houses.
That's awesome.
uh,
that's literally like two assets, a tree and a house that are already exist in IWB. It'll take her like 20 minutes tops.
yeah, I think she does have like Blender experience too. So maybe, like, I think
Yeah,
she
and then
could
there's
make it,
the
and then
custom uploader. Yeah, the custom uploader is working beautifully, better than ever. And I've been trying to build with IWB assets only just to demonstrate what's out there. But I've done several builds already with custom assets, and I even did a test. I don't know, a month or two ago, where from conception to deployment, I made a whole AI scene using Meshy AI. So I type in the prompt of what I want, and then brought it into IWB with the custom asset uploader and deployed it all within an hour and a half. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and if anybody has any ideas, again, the plaza is ours to build on. It's not like mine. There's one wallet that has deploy rights only to that, and so if we want to talk about giving that access to other people, sure. But like if we want more aesthetics in the like arts and shops area around the art gallery, like benches and chairs or whatever. Let's make it happen. We just got to go in there and see what's possible, and then like execute on it. And so one of those executions is odd job is updating the decent chance spinner wheel. I would implore people to try that as well. Like create your own chance. It's a way to sort of do like a UGC lottery where you create a lottery, you choose which items you want to give away, the win percentage, if it costs anything, a cool down timer, and then other people can immediately play to win and spin the wheel for those items. So it's a great way to connect with people, and it's a different, just fun little quick dopamine hit of interactivity in Decentraland. But I'm actually about to head into Costco, and they never have service in there. So I just wanted to, before we like shifted, and I know it was a long pause before the Dow Council stuff, I wanted to get some building in Decentraland in here. And so Tuesday I'll be available to anybody that listens to this now or the playback to build an in-world builder or show you what's up with Angzar. And we'll be adding the bowling and stage and rocket ball or decent ball, whatever we want to call it. People want to create graphics, let me know. Happy to put together whatever we want to do, because again, this is for us by us.
That is awesome. Okay, go get your Costco stuff. We'll be here. So what if like you have to score, the ball has to go through the net to get your free wearable, like the Decentra chance, but like you actually have to get it through there.
That's
And then
possible. That's
everybody's
it's
team or
funny.
like
Like everything I've explored now, like for me, that's easy to do with IWB. I God, doing that with coding, with SDK7 coding would be like such a task. That would be like probably 2 to 3 days for me, and doing it on IWB would probably take 20
first step
minutes
is
to figure
understanding the
out with
pieces,
some
right?
trial and error.
And
But
you kind of have to
basically,
start from scratch.
once you like
let's build
really
a
start
house.
to understand the
so Sinful, when are you going to build a house? Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, the thumbs down the thumbs down was not about hearing you. It was about sending you files, like you forcing you to learn how to build on your own. Sorry. You could ski jump, just straight down that hill, jump. You could do a drag race, like 2 cars. You could do I mean, you could do so much. You could have like a Mardi Gras street, Bourbon Street. Nope, nope. Just I was waiting for Ruston to say, "Yeah, we could build that." No, you're not allowed to say that.
I don't know, like for me it's just all about going and doing it. Like I remember October 2021 buying my parcel and like, okay, time to build something. And I entered the basics DCL builder and started making something really cool. And I was like, this is great. And I went to deploy it and it was like too many triangles. I was like, what the hell is a triangle? And then I like couldn't believe that this like tiny little scene with like barely anything on it could I couldn't deploy it. And I was like, well, that sucks. Like I just spent all this money on this parcel and I can't even put this basic ass scene on it. That was a big bummer, you know? And so I was like, and then I think Lastrom back then told me, well, if you use SDK, there is no triangle limitation. So it's like, guess I'm gonna have to learn SDK. So again, not knowing anything about coding or SDK, I dove into that, even though I'm an old dog, not wanting to learn new tricks, you know, and I just forced myself to do it. And with every little step I took, I began to uncover the things that enabled me to build all the things you've seen me build in Decentraland, you know, and learn how to make wearables and stuff. But it all depended on that first step.
It does. I mean, it takes a while to build. I think, everybody has a different amount of time that they have to dedicate. I mean, some people have a lot of time, some people do not. They have other things going on around. So I I think we all just need to do what we can. I don't beat myself up if I do not spend as much time on things as I wish I did. And I don't know. I mean, you got to take care of your bases first. If you've got a family, you know what I'm talking about. And if you can build in Decentraland, that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, just I started trying to learn when I was trying to learn Blender. I challenged myself to just learn one new thing a day. And so it was like, if I learned how to put a collider in, that was my one thing for a day. But some days I'd learn like 7 new things. And then I would write it down so that I didn't lose track, so that I didn't, get lost in the like, oh my gosh, I can't build like Rustan. I am nothing. I am worthless. Because that is what my brain tends to tell me. And so I would look at my list, and in 10 days, I had, more than 10 things that I had learned. And so I don't know, that was how I did it. I think everybody's just, everybody's got a different learning style. Everybody's going to move at their own pace. So I think the worst thing we can do is compare ourselves to other people. We're not competing against each other. We're competing against, and in my opinion, I'm competing against yesterday's version of Kinessa. So that's all. And sometimes I don't learn anything, and that's okay too. So, uh, you know,
And I want to make sure you know, Canessa, like the cantina is like so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and I know I've said how excited I am in seeing what you've made, but like I hope you really understand that it's impressive what you've done, and and are like really you're like one of the few people right now that are going for it, and I really appreciate that, and I love the events that you've thrown there, and I want to see more people do what you're doing. Actually, go for it and make cool shit. Like because like the more people that do it, the more there is to do in Decentraland, and like I just really hope you know that your efforts are being seen. I see it, and I know other people see it. Maybe you don't hear it all the time, but your efforts are being seen, and I think they're magnificent. And I'm really proud of you. And keep doing it.
well, thank you. That means a lot. I definitely did not put, like, what I saw in my head was way more than what I actually am able to like put on the map right now. And so yeah, thank you. It means a lot to hear that, because yeah, it's like, I don't know, for me, I'm my own worst enemy, so I'm like, should have done this better, should have done that better, like that collider doesn't match the rock and you haven't fixed it in 2 months, like you're, yeah, so thank you.
That's all okay. I mean, I actually before I started Trash the House, I was, because you had asked for it, I started recreating Casa Rustan in IWB, and I started piecing it together piece by piece, and it was just like, oh my god, this is like such a badly done build. It's gonna take me so much time to put it all together, because it's like a giant puzzle piece of bad assets, because I was learning how to do it all when I first built it. Like it'd be easier for me to just build it from scratch. But like that's just part of the learning process, right? Now I could build something a lot more optimized, cleaner, and smoother, and but still, I'm not at the level of like KJ. It's just like you said, like we're competing against ourselves, and I'm improving, and you're improving, and I want to see more people improving to make DCL what it really can be.
Well, thank you for the times where I've been like you you know, when I've been like totally frustrated, overwhelmed, can't do something simple, and you've been there to get me past that hurdle. So yeah, we're, definitely stronger together than like working siloed, and I appreciate that, because couldn't be where I am today without people, and KJ too. Like the morning that I'm like, how do I animate and get a collider to move with it? Because I know I've done it before, and you showed me, taught me how to do it, and now I can't remember. And so, like, it's just awesome when people share their knowledge. Like, that's one of the coolest things about this place, is people's willingness to like share. I never feel like people are, gatekeeping information. Like, oh, I'm not going to tell you how to, put an animation in the scene, because then you're competing with me. Like, I think it's cool just to see that kind of like forward thinking, that we're stronger together.
Totally, totally. And I know the spot. I know very well the spots that you go in when things are not working. And like I remember like when I built the hot tub at Casa Rustan, I had this idea of like, I want to animate water, and I want to put the water in the hot tub. And so I spent like 8 hours learning how to add a video or a GIF to a mesh in Blender, and it worked wonderfully in Blender. And then when I imported it into Decentraland, it wouldn't play. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And so I spent like 8 hours trying to resolve it, and then found out eventually that animated materials don't work in Decentraland, which, as of like the last update, they do now, which was really like exciting to hear, because it gave me a flashback to that time in 2021 when I was doing this. Like now you can do it, and I haven't tested it yet, but I really kind of want to mess around with that. Maybe build a whole scene with meshes that have animations on it, or something like that. But like what I did then was like come up with a way to make it work without those animations, right? And like one of the things that, as an artist and as a creator in Decentraland, that I kind of thrive off of are limitations. And so when I hit a limitation, I like the challenge of like, okay, so if that doesn't work, then how can I make it work? Or what can I do in its stead, right? And so like I kind of love that. It's like a challenge, and so like there's a lot of things in Decentraland that can't be done, or like are really complicated to do, but there's always a way around it, a way to solve it, and a way to be creative about it. And ultimately, I think the best thing in Decent, like the best mentality for Decentraland, is to keep it simple, especially with like, because of loading issues and optimization and things like that. If you really want your users to have the best experience possible, then like you don't need to go overboard with things. Even if your vision is so grand, um, like how can you keep it simple? Like keep things as simple as possible. Keep your life a little bit easier to manage from the roadblocks and headaches of building in Decentraland, and you'll actually end up probably with a better result than if you had done everything you wanted to do.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. I think like keeping, I don't know, like none of my build is through, done through coding. It's all just Blender. Anything moving is just a Blender animation. It's not coding. And that's, I mean, it works for me so far most days. The build I tried to do last week did not work. And so I don't know where I broke down on it. And I did not have the time to like troubleshoot it. So I just stuck with the existing Cantina build. And yeah, that's a, I think I just need to give myself more time. Usually that's what it comes down to. I do see we have a, oh, go ahead, Krista.
I think the build that, like the way you build, I think is one of the best ways to do it, and I still stand by like the best thing that anyone can learn right now is Blender and building in Blender, and then drop whatever you build in Blender into Decentraland, as long as you develop a good understanding of Blender, because like the original Casa Rustan is, that's like pieces built in Blender, all mashed together in Decentraland, and that is a pain in the ass. That's a royal pain in the ass. So I still stand by, like, if anybody really wants to like get good and efficient at things, really get the hang of Blender, and then like Decentraland could be second priority as far as building.
I definitely agree. I see we have a new speaker who's up here. I don't believe we've heard from you before, so welcome, the Moody.
Hello, hello.
Birthday.
Can everybody hear me all right?
Yes, loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, first off, I love your work, Nessa. Your builds are beautiful and your textures are beautiful. So do you, Sinful. Guys, I'm not a DCL member, but I'm a Metaverse member, and I truly resonate with everything you're saying because we all use Blender, we all face the hurdles of optimization and texture creation and stuff. So I just wanted to hint that I would love to receive any invitations if you guys have workshops or work groups where you exchange knowledge and how to do stuff. I would like to participate in that because it's eventually it's all metaverse, it's all Blender, it's all people trying to bring creations to life. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. Yeah, and like looking through your profile, is that forest? Is that in Unity or Unreal Engine?
That's a WebGL built for Monoverse. It's made entirely in Blender and then taken to Unity for lighting and instancing. There is a lot in Unity that makes the build even more optimized, rather than just designing in Blender. Also, like it's not a technical talk, but there is like it's an ongoing process starting from designing modular assets in Blender and instantiating those assets with Alt D instead of Control D. So it's the same mesh, but repeated more than one time. But inside the game, it only reads as one mesh. So yeah, these are the kind of stuff that I would like to participate with because I see the potential in every one of you. The stuff that you do are amazing. Just a little bit of tips and tricks that if you guys have workshops, if you have, I don't know, Discord meetings or stuff, just tag me, pin me in, and I'll be participating with you because I truly love the community of the metaverse builders, and you guys are doing a great job.
Well, that is amazing. I see now where it says it was in Unity. That is impressive. That's I'm glad. I'm just gonna go look at it again. So yeah, if you guys want to click on Moody's profile and go in there and look, that's gorgeous. And yeah, we will keep you updated. I don't know if there's anything quite as you're talking about, but definitely always good to connect. There's we're all citizens in multiple metaverses, I think, and so I love seeing inspiration that comes from other places. And I'm just sitting here scrolling through your profile and looking at all of these. They're gorgeous. So thank you for coming up.
Moody, I want to make sure you're aware of Hyperfy, Hyperfy.io. You definitely have a place there if you haven't heard of it yet, as well as Decentraland.
Are you building in Hyperfy, Ruston, right now?
I have basic assets dropped in my world. I bought a new domain for my Hyperfy world. I'm using the Lastrum server. Lastrum, in case anyone doesn't know and anyone's interested, Lastrum has made a way for anybody to create their own Hyperfy world using his server instead of you having to pay for a server right now. He's not charging anything for it. I know H Provacos has a server as well for Hyperfy, but you have to pay for that. It's like $5 a month, which is kind of funny to me. I know Ash, the creator of Hyperfy, mentioned, and I asked him what does a server generally cost, and he says it's usually you could probably get something for like $2 a month. So basically, the whole thing with Hyperfy 2.0 is it's relieving the cost of Hyperfy version 1 uh, from Hyperfy. So like it was starting to become very expensive to host all these worlds for Hyperfy version 1, and it was limiting. And so Hyperfy version 2, in addition to other things, puts the cost of the server on the owner. So instead of buying an NFT and having this finite amount of money to keep it alive, the host pays for a server around $2 a month to build and create whatever they want, right? And so in these early stages, Lastrum has set up his own server. So if anybody wants to mess around with that, talk to Lastrum about that. He's trying to build things so they're interchangeable, right, between DCL and Hyperfy. So the AI agents that you build in DCL, you'll be able to bring into Hyperfy, and vice versa. And that's all on his plate of goals to do. So it's worth messing around. It's still very early right now. Hyperfy 2.0 is like more in coding stages. They're building the apps to make it like version 1 where there's no coding. So I'm just kind of sitting tight. I've drug and dropped a few of my assets in my world, Rustan.xyz, and it's nothing really. I have nothing there right now, really, but just waiting.
Well, thank you, Ruston. That is good to know. I've only built a little bit in Hyperfy back in V1, but I see a lot of stuff, a lot of updates on Twitter, so it's nice to hear like kind of the current state of it and then like where they intend to take it. Because I feel like every brand, like a brand, if you think about, any brand that we know, like Disney, let's just use that. They don't just they're not like, oh, I'm going to have a presence on Instagram, but I don't need a Facebook and I don't need a Twitter and I don't need a TikTok and a YouTube presence. It's like brands need a presence everywhere. So if the future is going to be, at all in immersive, I think brands that want to come in or, people, projects that are being built here, it would behoove them to have at least some kind of presence, probably in most of the like successful virtual worlds that are going to emerge. Like not everyone, I mean, but I don't know what the big ones will be in 5 years. Like Decentraland survived this long, so that bodes well that we're still here. But I think it is going to get more competitive, and so definitely excited to see what Hyperfy is doing, and hope that continues to push the envelope.
Yeah, I mean, like I always felt like the brands did it wrong with Decentraland. Most of them, not all of them, but I feel like they should think about it more as marketing and less about making some sort of profit. I know on several occasions I've purchased things in real life or like noticed things in real life because of what they dropped in Decentraland instead of like like the Gray Man. Like I watched the Gray Man on Netflix because I played the Last Slice maze build that they made. I wouldn't have watched that movie if they didn't jump into Decentraland. You know, I didn't care about the movie. I didn't even really like the movie that much. But but I watched it because they jumped into Decentraland. To me, like that was a successful marketing campaign. You know, Atari, I'm totally aware of the stuff that they dropped, and then and the voice is like jumping around every freaking metaverse. Like I think they're doing it more right than anybody. They're not looking at it as like we need to sell something. They're like we just want to generate more awareness of our show and get people to watch our show, right? And so they're in Sandbox, they're in like everything, Sandbox, Decentraland, everything. And I think that's what brands should do, you know, like stop spending your marketing money on, or stop spending all your marketing money on traditional marketing and start jumping ahead. And but with Hyperfy, I mean, Decentraland is always going to be here as long as we have our DAO money, right, and our foundation money intact, and that's locked in for several years potentially. But like things like On Cyber and Spatial, right, they had to shift and pivot because their money ran out. But Decentraland's locked in here. To me, like any brand that wants to jump into to the metaverse game, you have to include Decentraland as a part of it, regardless of numbers or any of that. But don't think you're gonna like like Dolce and Gabbana or any of the other that initial Fashion Week wearable. Don't think you can price a common wearable for like $1,000, you know, and that you're gonna actually make a ton of money. Like that's just stupid. But I don't know. Hyperfy, in my opinion, has the most potential to really shake up the world, and they're the biggest threat to Facebook because you can't. It's hard to combat an open source platform.
Hmm. Interesting. But will like grandma care, or will she just want to be where her friends are playing like Wordle and sending like recipes and shit?
I think when grandma cares, that's when we're on to bigger and better things, right? It's the parents that killed MySpace and Facebook. As soon as the adults jump in there, everybody else gets out. It's just going to become common and normal, I think. And Hyperfy is making it. It's going to make it easy for like a normie to build something cool and have no idea that it has anything to do with the words that we know: Web3, crypto, wallets, NFTs, you know. I think I think that's no longer even like a major priority for Hyperfy. Like it's a part of it, but it's not the grand scheme of things. The goal of Hyperfy 2.0 is to attract all UGC of across the world beyond Web3, hyper like beyond crypto wallets and things like that. So they want to get Roblox builders to mess with it and use it, um, and and it's going to be so easy that why build in Roblox when you could just set this up? You know, it's like your own website.
Hmm. Interesting.
I call it the WordPress of the metaverse. Hyperfight 2.0 is going to be like the WordPress of the metaverse.
That's cool. Yeah, but I mean, like the big driver of those other platforms is just like there's it's just super easy for kids because let's be honest, it's the kids are the initial target audience. Um I mean, I think they are. I don't know. Like I guess maybe it's changing to where kids aren't the target audience. Um but they're going to just go where their friends are, and they're going to go Robux cards are everywhere. And so that's a giant David and Goliath battle to like try to outdo that,
Right.
because kids would rather
Well,
have a $10 Robux card than a $10 bill.
so this is the challenge that I see Hyperfight 2.0 having to deal with that they failed to with version 1 was marketing. The marketing is just probably the worst part of Hyperfy was their marketing, right? They could never get it out there. But now they have a budget. Now they have more coders. I know they plan to hire top-notch game developers to create the games. Right now, they're building the platform so that they could say, "Check this out" to a top-notch game developer, and then pay them to build something really cool. And then, like little by little, you start to generate attraction. And then when people realize, "Hey, I could build my own thing," easily. Like I said, you just go to roostdown.xyz right now. It loads up my Hyperfy world. You don't need to download a client. You don't need to start a wallet. You don't need to do any of that jazz. Like, and I've used version one many times in real life at gallery shows and stuff, showing people what I've been up to. It's just so freaking easy, easier than Horizon Worlds, easier than Decentraland, and like as long as you market that and get it out there right, and that's like one of the big jobs that they have to do with version two. It's gonna like it's unbeatable. There's nothing out there that can compete with that currently. Like Roblox, you have to download a client and go through it. If you want to be a creator on Roblox, you have to apply, right? Same with Horizon Worlds, you have to apply to be a creator. It's all crazy.
You make quite the compelling case. I admit.
I don't know if you guys have been exploring rodeo.club. Odd Job put me on this. I actually signed up for it like last summer, but I hadn't used it until Odd Job redirected me to it. And it's an NFT platform. It's basically like a little social media site with NFTs as your posts, and you can collect micropayments. If someone collects your work, you get a micropayment. If you collect something and someone sees you collected it and they collect the same thing, you get a micropayment. If someone flips their collectible of yours, you get a piece of that, a big chunk of that. So like everybody can make money on it. And what I like about it, like, is it's as simple as possible. It's really good aesthetic. Um, and like I've already made more money there than I have on any post I've made on Instagram, for example. Um, but one of the cool things that happened was like someone there took my one of my NFT pictures that I posted and they did like a drawing of it and then they minted that, which I don't recommend you do that without asking. And they sort of asked me, but I wasn't aware that they asked me. But anyways, they did it, but they did a good job. They made it their own, and I said, hey, can you mint me a copy of your version instead of me paying for this copy of a thing that you did based off of my thing, just like general courtesy, can you mint me? And they didn't know how to do it. They didn't know how to mint it themselves and send it to me. And it became clear that this artist doesn't know NFTs or crypto or wallets. They were legitimately a normie that joined this site to post their art and make crypto earnings, make micropayments on it, which to me is really exciting because like here's this app that's attracting normies, you know, and they don't even realize what they're doing because you start with a custodial wallet. You can attach your actual wallet and handle all that stuff in the settings, which is cool. But they hadn't done that because they didn't know. They didn't know how or how any of that works. That's exciting to me. And so I think things like Hyperfy or anything really, if you like study that a little bit, it's kind of like a blueprint for the path that everybody should be taking in Web3 to onboard normies.
But yeah, I feel like I'm in a master class. I mean, all of this stuff, it's like I just don't have the time, like I don't have the hours or the bandwidth. I mean, yeah, like or I don't know, maybe I do. Maybe it's just the
You
bandwidth
do. Like
to
we like self-impose all our own limitations. Like I mean, Vanessa, like before you had kids, you had all the time in the world, but you didn't know it until you had kids. And then and even with kids, you have more time than you think you do. So but you're right, like we don't have all the time in the world, but we're capable of doing so much, and we only stop ourselves and think we can't do it, but we can do a lot. We can sleep when we're dead, right?
Yeah, definitely don't sleep. Web3 is getting like more expensive to sleep. Like you sleep and you miss out on a lot. Uh, I miss my build. It has now been almost 2 hours and it has not loaded. And I
Okay.
am I am all one for being patient, but this is wild. If this would have been like a big event, I would
Yeah,
rage quit at least for the day.
I was worried about like when this first was unveiled and I saw the deployment delays. I knew that this kind of thing would be a problem, especially if you're hosting an event, because of like all the parties that I've had, and at the last second needed to make some sort of switch to the screen URL or whatever. Like if you're having an event, this is no good. And unfortunately, like what they're trying to do to fix it is not good enough. I think like there's still going to be a delay, and I don't know. They have to find some way to make that work perfectly. But I think they mentioned creating like a party host smart item, which would be very helpful. Which is almost like VLM, so you can change screens, change images um, at the will without having to deploy. That'll be good. But basically, I think no matter what, if you have some sort of event scheduled, you have to deploy the day before, make sure everything works, and then just don't touch it.
That sucks so bad because I think
Yeah,
there's so much like oomph when you have like a new build and people see it for the first time at the party. Like there's like that's the excitement. I
yeah.
know I know Derek is gonna see it ahead of time. I know that like he's so good at finding his way in, but I I yeah I agree. I wish this I don't know. I'm gonna just restart my computer, see if like I don't know if that's gonna help or
Well,
anything, but it just
one of the benefits of like IWB is like you could change things and they'll change in real time. So you could have like just added a screen if your build was on IWB, but with all those pros comes some cons, right? Then you're introducing loading lag. Takes a second to load. Like if you notice Trash the House, it doesn't load right away when you deploy. It takes a few seconds. So there's like a trade-off between a static build that you can't change and a real-time build with some delays. But I think at some point we'll find some sort of balance. And I'm very excited about like the party host smart item that they mentioned in the last AMA, and I hope that comes out sooner than later.
can you tell me what that is? Like I don't quite
The party
understand.
host. Nico mentioned it in the AMA. Like their last AMA was really good. I don't know if anybody really paid attention or noticed it, but like he shared a lot of really cool things. The party host smart item is basically the VLM. It's you drop in an asset in the builder in the new builder that they have, and it enables you the ability to change URLs on a screen, change URLs on a picture without having to deploy. So it's just like VLM. So like I think you can also do like assets, make them appear and disappear at will, make videos play and appear and disappear, start stop at will, without having to deploy. So like let's say on your current build you set the screen to be part of this party host smart item and you forgot to have the screen, you just go in there and turn it on instead of like having to redeploy your whole build.
Yeah, that is much needed because you guys are being very patient and gracious and like it's like a safe place to fail, but this is failing right now. It's 11:02. I deployed it at 9:08. That's, almost 2 hours, and I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going
You're
anywhere,
you're
but
at
it's
risk
like,
of this
why?
happening. Like I wish I had known that you were going to deploy because I would have said don't do it.
Yeah, I
And
know.
that's
Well,
only
I was
through
like,
experience, you know.
I
Um,
figured the first 30 minutes tops would rug, because usually it's 30 minutes that, like, to get the scene to deploy, not 2 hours. So I don't
yeah,
know. I mean, I want to know exactly how much time it takes, because, uh, yeah, I mean, usually I'm like, deploying my scenes right really close to the point where the event is starting, and I don't, like, I guess it's a good lesson. Now I know.
yeah.
Do not run
For
the clock
me,
down.
for me, it's like a really old lesson. Like I remember in 2021, like the fear of deploying right before a party and then like something going wrong. I remember there would be times where I would deploy and nothing would show up ever, and it was because like part of my code was wrong. Like I had a comma somewhere that didn't need to be there. And so I got into the habit of like just freaking deploy the day before, make sure it works, and then don't touch anything. Make sure the screen link is right, everything, and then don't. And you may or may not have noticed, like when I did the Christmas Cove this year, like that was deployed like 3 days before, because who knows what's going on in Client 2.0, right? So like I made sure like that was locked in. Um, like those are just things that I learned that you can't always depend on the foundation or something breaks last second. Like I don't have the time to troubleshoot what's going on when I don't even have all the information, right? So you just have to like for Decentraland, you do it the day before and leave it and then don't touch it. And then hopefully you don't need to change anything.
Well, lesson learned. I will do better. I don't know how much, I don't know how much we want to talk about it. Like, there's been a lot of talk. I'm, I just wish that, excuse me, I wish that everybody who had applied had come to Toxic's talks. And it's just, I don't know, like, I'm finding myself, just kind of like wondering if I should keep my vote for those who didn't come to the talks, because does not coming to those talks reflect like just a schedule that's too busy to come, and then therefore is that a schedule that will have time for all the needed obligations of the DAO? um or is like lack of attendance or participation in those talks, because you didn't need to be there. Mr. D pre-recorded something, because of the restrictions. But I don't know. I guess I'm saddened that the pretty big people didn't come or participate or send a pre-recorded message in, so we didn't get to hear from them, regardless of the reason. And it just makes me think like, meh. Like, I guess my vote is more like meh for some people that really like, pivot, like, founders of the entire project. I get it, but like, I don't know, just kind of disappointed that we didn't hear from them. Doesn't make me real excited to see them in that place of leadership if we don't get to hear them be leaders now. So I don't know if there's too much to say. I think that was the opportunity for them to say something, and there was silence, and yeah, so silence says a lot, I guess, at this stage of the game. But it doesn't really matter if I say anything because it's my vote, our votes won't really matter. So I don't know. It's just probably better to spend our energy focusing on building shit instead of trying to affect change in the council. Good morning, Meek.
Good morning, Cadessa. And Sinful. Just wanted to get up here, say hi, and dance around with y'all.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. It was super fun. That was so fun to hang out with so many of my friends. I love you guys so much. To me, that's what this is all about.
I am afraid I was, the I was the public bus service last night, so I did come. I was there in spirit, but I came early and nobody was there, and then I came at the end and most people were gone. So it was like I saw the pictures. I was like, oh, there's a. I didn't get to participate much, but I hope it was a good one.
It's a Friday night. Life is actually an adventure, especially when you have small humans. Don't I know it? But it was really, really fun. Great reminder of when everything goes pretty darn well, what a great time we can have. So, really appreciate y'all. If you're a beast, and you have an abstract wallet, make sure to get it over to me and I'll send you the file of the hoodie.
Can you tell us what that is? Is that a file that then we would put on our beast in Blender?
Yep. So if it's an NFT that's literally just an NFT of the hoodie, but then I send people the hoodie for their beast. It's really fun. I made a hoodie. It's not a wearable yet. I hope to make it a wearable retroactively.
Where did you mint it? Make
I minted it on Magic Eden on Abstract.
Are you able to change the metadata at all?
Not able to do very much.
Bummer.
Why?
Because you could add the GLB into the metadata and then not have to send it to people.
That it they you couldn't upload or do much or change much in from the way they were doing it. It's super raw. I'm
Yeah.
sure it could have happened with the launch pad. It's the wear. I mean, I really hope to make it a wearable itself. So I think it's just starting the fun. I think that's what that NFT does. It starts the damn fun.
It's cool. I put it on my beast and took a snap.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, man. What if just out here making stuff? I think Abstract's got a lot of, if they stabilize, it seems like they're gonna be around and hang in there, and it's pretty neat for you streamers that you could tip in Pangu live on the platform. It's really starting to open up for other people. So I just wanted to go for the experience, and a little bit for the culture. Put something on the blockchain for the culture.
I love that. Well, I want you to mint it. I like as a wearable in Decentraland. I think it's yeah. To be honest, I thought it was a Decentraland wearable. So that's why I was like, oh, like that's gonna be so cool. So now I'm like encouraging, quietly encouraging. Uh, I think it's fun. I think it's fun to have something to give away for your NFT project. I'm like, yeah, I'm just like shopping at all these other NFTs that are definitely out of my range. But then I'm always like, ah, I love my beast. I think the beasts are, yeah, I think they're perfect and unique and interesting to see them kind of like with the floor price of clones because yeah, for better or worse, I did not think that we'd be right there with those. So can't let me know if you make it a DCO wearable. I want to see it.
Thanks, fam. I definitely am gonna give it a try. You know, it was just the start of the story. I hope to make it also for my bit beats for people in their bit beats too. Like, let's get crazy.
I am not sure. I have not actually read the book this month. I did not. I did not get a chance to. So I will be, if I can attend, I will be a spectator and listening to everybody's amazing conversations. Or maybe I shouldn't, and then I can like read it and be surprised. I bought it. Does that count? I bought it, and I don't. I didn't find it, and so I'm just yeah. I've been fighting battles this week with people, and so I'm just like, all right, I gotta. Didn't quite get it. Got my priorities. I'm fighting for my kiddos, not my real kiddos, my student kiddos. So I'm just yep. No, no, I think I bought like Ready Player One and Snow Crash at the same time, like to do some metaverse research, and I read Ready Player One, but not Snow Crash. Research? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that one was good. I definitely am in the same boat. I The books I read are typically, well, they used to be children's books, and now they're just nonfiction. So it was interesting to read something and then be so like invested in it, where I'm like, I have to know what happens to this person who actually doesn't exist, but I'm deeply emotionally invested in now. So, and good news, the build finally loaded after 2 hours and 10 minutes. So it is, you can hit reload, same build, it just has a screen, a screen. So, sorry about that today. And I don't know if you're talking. Okay, all right. I was like, well, sounds like we're quieting down. So, okay, you're not quiet. You're talking. Go ahead, talk. Yeah, I will. I will definitely do better. And because there's always little tweaks. I mean, I think anybody that builds, they're like, oh, that palm tree needs, that top needs to go like 3 inches to the right. And so then I mean, you could sit here and tweak stuff all day and never be done. So it's it's kind of relieving thinking about having to get a build done the day before, because then you have to get it done and then just walk away from it. Just walk away. Because otherwise, like if you don't have that limitation, or at least for me, I'm always going to be making little tweaks. Like, oh, this just needs to be here. Oh, I could just do that. So just take it away from me. Yeah, yeah, yep. Yeah. Well, now I definitely learned my lesson. This one, this one hurts. Ugh.
Vanessa, is this with the new build, like the web builder, or which are you using that the deployment has slowed down?
This is the Legacy SDK 7 builder, so not the Creator Hub yet. I need to get into that. I need to learn that. But this is just the same old way of deploying it that I've done since September, like whenever the client 2.0 launched.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not changed anything. Like until there's a little more comfort. Like I got broken stairs. I'm like, well, if somebody trips and falls down my stairs, don't sue me.
Yeah, not yeah. Although it is there. Oh, that's the build where if the stairs don't load, you can't get up because it's not. It's like a little too high to jump. I wish we had the double jump feature. I really wish we had that, or a ladder or something,
We could use a double jump. Add it to the till.
and a slide. Like I want a Fortnite slide. If we had a slide, you guys would see me just slide into every party. It'd be like Canessa's not there, and then all of a sudden, zoom, and then boom, she's there. And yeah, someday.
Wow, you're really trolling, Sin.
I think he I think he kind of stretched the truth there.
Thanks for making my birthday party so special in Decentraland, Mew. I appreciate you. That was a blast, Canessa. Thanks for making it. It's a Friday night. People come when they want. Shout out Abel and the record shop for helping me get better. And Ruston for helping us grow. You guys are the best.
Let's see. Yeah, book club tomorrow. Keep an oh yeah, like if anybody's interested in trying to learn in world builder together, hit me up. That'll be probably Tuesday. And then Dana inspired me. I should push myself to create a event that I've wanted to do for a while, just trying to find the time. I should do that. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that and like do it on Tuesday too. And let's see, any other events coming up this week? Oh, ABC Decentraland does say today. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen. That's the most recent post, but I don't see anything else. So maybe I think it's usually 3 o'clock. Um, and then, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then on Tuesday, you can get the free wearable in Genesis Plaza, the Dilly Bopper, the head ornament antenna thing. So, yeah. Otherwise, and don't forget to vote. Just to make yourself feel better, I guess. Uh, or worse. I don't know. Just do your best. I do your thing, and otherwise, we'll just keep plugging along, eat some roots chocolate, and we'll see you next week. Oh, Father Finn probably, hopefully, will come out with his awesome news thing that he's been doing that has all the events for the week. So, I do. I mean, in metaverse time, that's a whole lot of weeks. It's a whole lot of weeks. That is. Well, what are you gonna do for Beyond the NFT 3 year anniversary? Come on. We yeah. Isn't that the 28th of February? Yeah. Yeah. For some reason I can remember some shit, but not others. No, CBDN on May 25th. But don't change the subject. We want we want Beyond the NFT. I think you should do a recap episode where you get like you just put an invite to every guest you've ever had. Everybody gets to come in, just talk, or we grill you. I think you need to start doing some like recap episodes. Like, where are they now? Actually, maybe not. Maybe better not. Like, well, I'm here in Decentraland. I'm still building. It's been 84 years. Oh, you, you gotta you just do it. Just do something. Pick one. Go for it. Oh, you have remember you have a job now. You have a lot of money. You could just pay somebody to make a wearable. I start. What's the worst they could say? Is no.
No thanks.
And there's some great people out there that might love the chance. So that's a one no. You're gonna give up after one no. That's what that's the Mew we know. Oh. Well, I think I if I can plug Fabio Breen is an amazing creator to work with. So maybe hit him up. I know there's still a lot of other people that are, building and be great to they might like the chance to, make some extra income. So do it. Do it. Yeah.